well, that in and of itself, quite frankly, is a car crash waiting to happen.
Get that one out in one mouthful.
I know. I'm impressed. Wow, you were listening.
Hi, everybody, and welcome again, the brilliant, fantastic Linda Wright from Planet Wright Planning Consultants. And we're here today because there's been another statutory instrument released, Statutory Instrument 836. Aren't we excited to release this one, Linda?
Oh, I can't contain myself, honestly. Now, we're a bit behind in coming to you with this. This came out on the 5th of August, so it wasn't. It's been a few days now since this came out. We've had a look at it. It was released on the 5th of August, and it says it comes into force 28 days after, which why they don't just say it's around about the 1st of September to tie in with everything else, I'll never know. But there we go. This is what planning and planning geek speak does to you. Now, what we want to talk to everybody about today, Andrew, is fees. Everybody knows, and it's the prior approval, but it's the new prior approval system that is being brought in on the 1st of September 2020 under Part 20, the new Part 20 of the General Permitted Development Order.
I know, now, I'm excited, Linda. I mean, £96 for a planning application to create 2 extra floors on a building, to demolish a building and create 60 flats.
Yeah, I'm
£96 again.
Really, really sorry to disappoint you, because there's no such thing as a free lunch anymore. And in fairness, £96, the poor bloody planners, I wouldn't get out of bed for 96 quid, quite frankly. But the poor planners were having to deal with prior approval applications for £96. Ridiculous. The central government have been talking for a while now about they were going to introduce revised fee structure, and they were talking about it was going to be locally based. Well, that in and of itself, quite frankly, is a car crash waiting to happen. But this has been brought out centrally. Now, if you thought, yes, your prior approval, how fabulous, you can build 60 odd flats and your planning application is going to cost you £96. Well, under the new Part 20 prior approval system, I'm not going to call this the permitted development rights system, because it's not. It's a red herring. You have to apply to the council for prior approval. This is the 2 stories on a purpose-built block of flats. This is the demolition and rebuild and add 2 stories on purpose-built blocks of flats and offices. This is the adding 2 stories onto a mixed-use commercial detached or terrace building. So it's all of this new stuff that's come in under Part 20 of the General Permitted Development Order. Now, the fees are going to be, are you ready for this? The fees are going to be £334.
That's not too bad.
I'm not finished yet.
I mean, come on, inflation. 96 to 334.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But it's £334 for each new dwelling house or flat.
How much?
Yes, I know. 334 for each new dwelling house or flat. So if you're creating, I don't know, 10 flats in 2 stories above an existing block of flats, that's 10 times 334. Not massive in the grand scheme of things, but not the cheapest chips planning that you could have dealt, the prior approval that you could have dealt with. Now, this is up to a maximum of 50 dwelling houses. So anything from 50 down, up to 50 dwelling houses that you're creating, new dwelling houses, it's £334 per new dwelling house. That's also up to a maximum of £16,525. Now, if you go over the 50 number maximum, then you would be charged the 16,000 and an additional £100 for each new dwelling house in excess of the 50. So it's a bit like how some outline applications and how larger household development applications are dealt with. So they're dealing with it in a very, very similar way. And it made me smile because it says subject to a maximum of £300,000. So that, okay, fine, yeah. So if you go over £300,000, you'll get a discount. You'll only have to pay the £300,000. Ridiculous. But again,
work out how many dwellings that would be off the top of my head.
No, but I did go for my calculator and thought I'll divide that, and I thought, oh, leave it, Linda. Just walk away. Just leave it. But we've just done an earlier video for people about the difference between the use classes order and the old GPDO prior approval system for offices to residential, and told people that that expires on the 31st of July 2021. So what we're saying here is, if you want to do your office to residential conversions, we would strongly advise that you take the opportunity to do this under the old system, and you only have, as you've said, a limited window of opportunity to do that. And it expires on the 31st of July, when, if you're doing any of this stuff, I would expect there's going to be a whole raft of new prior approval procedures and a system in place. And I expect that the fees are going to go up massively again. So just to let everybody know, the fees, you know, the new, there's no such thing as, oh, this is fabulous, we're going to get all of, we're going to be able to do stories, and we're going to be able to do this and this, and it's all going to be 96 quid. No, this has changed quite radically. And in fact, a lot of the restrictions and limitations on these buildings are going to be such that many buildings are just not going to comply, and you're just not going to be able to do it. But if you do find a building that is rarer than hen's teeth, and then you are able to do this under the new Part 20, you're going to have to pay for it. There's going to be a significantly greater fee to be paid.
So what we're saying is we're going to make a little less profit on our opportunities, but if we find some hen's teeth, then we've got a good opportunity and we could make some good profit on it. And there is this final window of opportunity between now and the 31st of July to secure a prior approval under the old £96 process for all of your dwellings. Instead of paying up to £16,500 plus £100 per extra dwelling over 50 dwellings, get that one out in one mouthful.
I'm impressed. Wow, you were listening.
It's a bit like one of them Peter picked a pickle pepper.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Then we're going to start to have to play by the rules of a tick box check sheet, pay more money, take more time. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, it's
this is not cricket.
It isn't. Well, to be honest, in fairness to the planners, as I've said, I wouldn't get out of bed for 96 quid, but in fairness to the planners, having to deal with prior approvals, which sometimes can be quite complicated, for £96 just really doesn't cover the council's costs. And I think, to be honest, this is probably a fairer system. I know a lot of investors and developers are going to go, no, it's not. It's too expensive and it's coming off my bottom line. And I understand that, but it's something that the government have been talking about for a while now, and so it's coming to fruition. They're actually doing, which is quite strange for governments to be implementing all of the things that they have been swirling around now for ages. And it was, I think it was, it's been a long, I think it was 2012 when this original set of fees came in. So, you know, it's time for a change. I know it's an increase and I know people will be upset by that, but that's why we wanted to bring you this video today and say, look, there is this timeline. you do need to get a shift on if you want to use the old process and if you want to get it at bargain basement prices, because it is not going to last. So 31st of July 2021.
I like the bargain basement prices, Linda. Brilliant.
Everybody does.
Everybody loves a bargain. And on that note, we better leave you for today. And we'll catch up with you soon, because we've got more breaking news coming in the near future. So stay tuned, hit subscribe. If you've liked what we've shared with you, hit the like button. And we will try and bring you the updates as quick as they come off the press. Linda, it's been a delight and a pleasure once again. Get in touch with Linda at Planet Right. Details down below. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if anybody out there has got anything that they want us to specifically go through and drill down into, because there's a lot out there, I'm not really going to get too excited about the white paper until it's written in somebody's blood and it's actually comes out, it gets enacted. There's all sorts of new stuff coming out with that, all sorts of new stuff about local plans. But if you particularly want us to go into something and explain and do a video on it, just let us know, let Andrew know, let me know, and we'll see if we can do that for you.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay.
Until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.